Okay, so just finished up watching the Michigan race. Got postponed to a Monday. You guys know that. That's why we hopefully all watched together. It was 5 p.m. So if you guys have work or something or school, you should be able to get out. But I'm already gonna put like a little, what is it called? I don't know. A little side note in here already. Number one, I appreciate all the support on the channel. A lot of you guys support me. You guys love watching the videos. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys for sticking around and watching, and that's why I can keep doing this. Taking my opinions into your account, agreeing with them, disagreeing with them. I appreciate all that. I like the community aspect of things. And I'm going to be brutally honest in this race review because I'm tired of sugarcoating things. I'm tired of dumbing things down. So that way, I guess I can explain things to you guys, like how I see something. I'm not saying I am right. I'm never going to say that. Everything I say is an opinion, basically, unless there's like a factual, proven, written something. I don't know. But what I'm saying, my feelings on a race or feelings on a driver or feelings on anything is an opinion. So I put that opinion out, and then at the end of the video, I say, put your opinion's down. And if you respectfully disagree, we'll have a conversation. If you disagree but it's not respectful, then I just don't care. I'm just gonna ignore you. And what I'm getting to at here is there's a few things we need to start explaining, because Kansas was a really good race. What package did that use? Yes, it used the new package. Charlotte was a really good race. What package did that use? Yes, it would use the new package. What did I say after those two races? In my opinion, I think a race with this package that must be really good must be number one, at night. Number two, have a little bit of blip in the throttle, a little bit of off throttle time. Not a lot. I'm talking maybe like even less than a second of off throttle time. That way it gives the drivers a little bit of time to put their talent in. All right, you have that second of off throttle time. All right, if you get back there right at the right time, you carry momentum, different lines, all that. Charlotte and Kansas are very similar tracks. Every lane at those tracks is usually usable. You know, at Charlotte, I don't think the top lane is, you know, really in there, but you can use pretty much all the track. In Kansas, you can definitely use all the track, and all that track is very equal. And both tracks have pretty smooth surfaces. They're not new, but they're not old and bumpy. They are smooth, but a little bit of wear on them. So I explain all this, and you guys seem to agree, and it's all happy-go-lucky, right? Well, we come to Michigan, and I said last week that I kind of expected Pocono to be a bad race. But at Michigan, I didn't know what to expect, because I was hoping they wouldn't train, but from the Xfinity Series race last year, I said that was one of the worst races I've ever seen, and I still agree with that. So we come into this Michigan race, and we see what happens today. And what I saw today was not good. Nothing about it was good. And then, if I say that, you know, people are like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, this and that. I don't care, all right? I sincerely don't care. I'm going to give you my real and honest opinion. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. If a race is bad, I'm going to say it's bad. If it's good, I'm going to say it's good. If I praise something, I'm going to praise it. And if I don't like something, I'm going to critique it. So when I say the race is bad, I have multiple tweets saying, oh, you're too negative on the package. You're too negative on the When did I say I was talking about the package? I have said for weeks that this package actually can succeed at some times. If I say the race is bad and you automatically assume I'm going for the package, you're ignorant, because you're not even letting me explain my point. Hey, maybe the track has something to do with it. And this is starting to piss me off, guys, because it's really starting to tick me off, because I like talking about the sport, but if you can't understand where I'm coming from, as for something as simple as if I dislike a race, my reasoning is not always the goddamn package. It's not like that. It can be the track. Michigan has not been a good track. And why has it not been a good track? It has not aged in years. This place has been repaved almost a decade ago. Has it been a decade? 7, 8 years now? It's been a long time that Michigan was repaved. It doesn't age. Why does it not age? Well, the first lane on the bottom lane is has less banking than the rest of the racetrack, but it's a lot less banking than the rest of the racetrack. It's not like a little amount. It's a good amount that the bottom lane has a little bit of deep banking, and now the top doesn't come in. Why is that? Probably something to do with just the track layout. Michigan is a very wide track, so when you have off throttle time, when it had old pavement, you can ride the top and get that momentum. But now the top is just, there's no momentum. You know what I mean? So the middle lane gives you the momentum that the bottom lane can't, and then the top just doesn't come in. It's just a wider part of the track. There's no momentum because you're already full throttle. If you run the middle lane, you're full throttle. So if you're full throttle in the middle lane, you're not going to go to the top. So I don't know if this Michigan track is ever going to age. Okay, so what does this track do now? The track is basically a 2-lane track. 3 lanes on initial restarts. So when did we see 3 wide racing? When did we see that kind of exciting racing? We saw it on the initial restart. First lap, second lap. When is the rest of the time you see 3 wide racing? You have to be the 2 cars in front of you have to side draft, and you kind of slingshot around them, okay? Is that good racing to you? Is it? Do you want air dictating everything? Or at Charlotte or Kansas, do you want your driver being able to use his momentum or use his talent to force a 3 or 4 wide to certain areas and be able to drive his way up through the field? Or do you want your driver, if he tries making a pass, then getting trained by 5 drivers on the outside line, all because they decided to stay up there? What is good racing? What do you think's good racing to you? And I'm not going to define what is good racing for everyone, because if you like trains, if you like getting ramrodded by everyone on the outside lane, then go ahead. I'm glad you enjoy that, because I don't. And I'm pretty sure a lot of fans don't. So next time you decide to attack me for not liking the package, there's a lot more that goes into this. NASCAR is not as simple as a goddamn package. There's a lot more that goes into it. So how do I feel about the Michigan race? I think I've made it pretty clear at this point how I felt about the Michigan race. It was trash. It wasn't good. Was it not good because Logano dominated the race? No, that's not the reason. Logano had the fastest car. He deserved to win this race, and I'm glad he did win this race because he deserved it. He had the fastest car. He was able to stay out in front, full throttle, never had a lift, not a single bit. Why was it not a good race for me? Because every time someone got behind Logano, or even whoever got behind in second place, or third place, or fourth place, you would just get in a line, and you would have to rely on someone else's mistake to get up towards the front. That isn't good racing. It's just not. I'm sorry. Closer does not mean better. I can put every single car in the field at Daytona in a pack, okay? Now, what happens at Daytona when they train, or they used to train? You know, in some of the old packages, it looks like in the newer packages, they won't do it as much. But in the older packages, when they used to train, okay? And they trained for 50 laps. What did we all say? Was it boring? Yes. But were drivers biding their time? Yeah, they pretty much were. No driver at Michigan is basically biding their time. It's just simply the combination of the track and the package that leads to this. If I am watching, and I am a fan of put driver whoever, I don't care what driver you're a fan of, but if I'm putting driver whoever, I want that driver to be able to showcase his abilities. And now in this new package, there is a different kind of showcasing your ability. You can be a lot more aggressive in the new package. You could be very aggressive on restarts. You could put your car in tight spaces and stay full throttle. That's the new way of showing your talent. There's also the old way of showing your talent with loose, a very no grip, sliding around off throttle, then have to manage the throttle kind of talent, which almost all NASCAR fans love and would love to get back to. Showcasing your talent doesn't come in when you're riding in a line, and if you try making a pass, you get freight trained on the outside. And if you need help. We have those kind of races 4 times a year. And the reason why we like them is because they're unique and they are only 4 times a year. Daytona and Talladega, twice each year. Plate race where everyone's in this massive pack, right? 3 wide, 4 wide. And it's entertaining and exciting for 4 times a year. If we got Daytona and Talladega 10 times a year, wouldn't be as entertaining. 15 times a year. Wouldn't be as entertaining because Daytona and Talladega require different style of skill set. That's why Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Gordon, and Brad Keselowski, that's why they're all so good at plate races, because it requires a specific skill set. So I know that drivers can showcase their skill set at those types of tracks. Michigan doesn't do that. Now, am I saying Joey Logano doesn't have talent? No, he does. He does have plenty of talent. But Joey Logano was in a different car. He wasn't going to win that race. If you put Joey Logano in a Chevy, he wasn't going to win that race. No, it's not happening. Isn't this what all NASCAR fans complain about F1? They complain about F1 because, oh, Lewis Hamilton's in a Mercedes, and Mercedes is the best car, so the driver doesn't... Well, guess what? Your sport's basically turning into that. Because it doesn't matter who was in that 22 car. All they had to do was stay out front full throttle. Give credit to Joey Logano where it's due. On restarts, he had to be very, very careful, because on restarts, it was the only time he can really be able to get past. And when he did get past, he had a fast enough car to just slingshot around the other guys. So that was really nice. But then the rest of the field just stacked up. And that's not a good race, man. So, again, how do I feel about Michigan? 100% not a good race. If I can't get my point across to you as to why it's not a good race, then I don't know what to tell you. I've been telling you guys multiple times that I'll be honest with you about how I felt about a certain race. And in this case, don't bullshit me on the goddamn package. Don't say, oh, you're being critical on the package. Listen, it's a combination of things. It is a combination between package and track and driver. And all these things have to come to alignment. At Charlotte and Kansas, they did. At short tracks, we don't really necessarily have to worry about the package a lot. Why do I love Martinsville every year? Because Martinsville is a great goddamn short track. It doesn't matter what car you take to Martinsville. It's going to be a great race. Every week is different. I'm not going to come out here every single week and say, oh, the race was decent. It was okay. because I want to come off being nice, and I just want to baby everyone. I don't want to be critical of the sport. I'll critique it when I want to, and I'll praise it when I want to. It's that simple. I came home from my internship, and I watched the race for 2.5 hours, and I wasn't entertained. I'm not going to come on here and say, oh, I was entertained. Oh, it was a good race. No, it wasn't. It was not a good race. The drivers meant nothing, and that's sad. It really is sad. I watch NASCAR because I know the driving ability is amazing, and it takes so much talent to drive those cars. And I want every driver to showcase their talent in the way that they can. I don't want them trying to make a pass and then get freight trained by 5 drivers in the outside lane because of the draft. That's not fun, okay? It isn't. I want to be able to see drivers showcase their talents, which is why short tracks and road courses, and once every 4 years, or four times every year at a plate race where you have a specific skill set that you need, those are entertaining too. Okay, now that that's all out of the way, let's get a quick, basically, a review of the race on what happened. Pretty much, go through this really quick because I really did not enjoy this race. Joey Logano won stage 1 with Austin Dillon winning stage 2. There was a lot of strategy in stage 2 that led to Austin Dillon winning. But at the end of when stage 3 came around, there was pretty much, it was Logano against the field, and maybe even Harvick. And Harvick had a Harvick-ish race where Harvick will have some sort of issue on pit road or something that puts him a lap down and he has to fight his way back. But Harvick did fight his way back. And it seemed like Harvick was the one car that had something for Logano, that could do something with Logano. The rest of the pack was always kind of shuffling. You guys just got, I don't know, you have to watch the race. As long as it got 10 laps in, it's a single file train around the top. You go full throttle through the middle. There was no lifting off. Multiple times the Fox cameras were riding along with drivers on board, and you could just hear there's not a single liftoff point, not even a little bit. And so everyone's going the same speed, and you're basically reliant on what air does to you. If you get into dirty air, that's when you lift. If you start side drafting, that's when you lift. So you're racing air. That's basically what it is. So you have a Daytona/Talladega style race on a smaller track with smaller lanes, not as many lanes. Everything's crammed in, and it's just not as fun. So that was basically the race. Few incidents here or there on certain restarts. One of the major ones was Clint Boyer when he got there in a tight position, ends up wrecking. And there were also close instances on restarts. There was one with Joey Logano and Kyle Larson where Logano just had a massive run, hit Larson in the rear. Larson almost wrecked the thing, but was able to save it. And then the last 50 laps kind of played out, went green. Logano was leading with Truex and Harvick in tow, 3-car pull away, not really being able to pass anyone, not doing anything. Everyone pits. Looks like Logano's going to win the race. Caution comes out for Eric Jones spinning with only like 5 laps to go. And then we had a restart, and I was actually kind of excited for the restart because who doesn't like a 3-lap green-white checkered to end a race? Those are always nice to have. Even if the race was boring, it doesn't really matter. Nice to end the race on a good note. But credit to Logano, he got off to a great restart and was able to hold everyone off, and no one ever challenged him. So that was it. So again, massive credit to Joey Logano because he had a great race car and he dominated the entire race. Like I said, he doesn't have any. It's not because of him that I don't like the race. Chase Elliott could have done the same thing, and I still would have said I don't like the race. Jimmy Johnson could have won his first race in 3 years, and I still would have said not a good race. It's just the style of racing at the track that we are at. Michigan's starting to get a little bit frustrating for me because it's been a while since there's been a really good race in Michigan. Because even in the old package, you would go 215 into turn 1, and the corner speeds were just too high, and the lanes are not. There's not enough lanes. The track's not wide enough. The bottom lane is debanked, so there's not as much grip down there to make a pass down there. So you're really relying on air and side drafting and everything. And it's just right now, Michigan, I'm sad that it hasn't aged. That's really the biggest thing, and it's unfortunate. A lot of similar characteristics to Texas, how Texas is going through right now, when the track is just not wide, and you're asking these cars to go so fast, you just can't do anything. You can't pass. You're limiting the drivers so much, and it's just a shame. Let's go to the race results. Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, Truex, Suarez, and Kyle Busch round out your top 5. Only 2 Fords in the top 5, which is a little bit surprising because then the rest come through. They're in 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th in the Fords. We thought the Fords would be really good at Michigan. Their home track, so it wasn't surprised that a Ford won. They're always usually really good at Michigan. You can see Keselowski, Harvick, Newman, Blaney, and Bowman round out the top 10. Only 2 Chevys in the top 10, but Chevy wasn't that bad. I mean, Kurt Busch and Kyle Larson had good races. I mean, you don't see Larson in the top 10, but Larson had a decent race. He was running up towards the front as well, and there was moments where Elliott and Alex Bowman finished second in stage 2, I think. Or was that stage 1? I think it was stage 1. There were moments where they had their speed. It was there. It was showing. but they never had the speed that the Fords had, especially Logano. And Toyota did have some good performers as well with Denny Hamlin before he slid back and just went non-existent after the first stint, I think, after the competition caution. But Truex then was up there and really working hard. And Kyle Busch never ran well all day, but he finished 5th. And that's probably the best he ran all day. He was running 15th, 10th all race, and he was able to get up there for a top 5. And shout out to Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman was like 4th at one point, I think. So pretty good for him. Hamlin in 11th, Paul Menard, Larson, I missed Hemrick. Daniel Hemrick in 12th. Good run for Hemrick as the rookie. Larson, Jimmy, Busher, Eric Almirola, William Byron, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Elliott. And then the rest of the results, 21st through wherever, it's Dillon, LaJoy, Tift, Priest, Austin Dillon, who had some trouble. McDowell, Bubba Wallace had trouble as well. Let's see, Leonard Castle, Smithley, Eric Jones, Quinn Hoof, Balecki, Reagan, Boyer, and Kyle Weatherman. Round out the 36-car field. These fields are getting smaller and smaller each race, and that is worrying me. But yeah, it's to be honest, a very predictable race result. We see the Fords doing well. We saw Hendrick not being the best. That was seen in practice and in qualifying, so not surprising. A pretty predictable result with a few good performances, from drivers that don't usually have them, and in Newman, and I would also say Chris Buescher as well. Where did Buescher end up? Buescher ended up 16th. He was running in the top 10 that last part of the stage. He was doing last part of the race. He was doing very well. So I thought he would get a little bit higher finish than 16th, but he ended up finishing at 16th place. So again, in the end, hopefully none of you guys took this review the wrong way. I'm just saying, I'm just tired of, if I say it's a bad race, like you guys just blatantly, not all, appreciate the support. Some of you guys just blatantly start attacking me for hating the package or being negative on the package. I'm trying my hardest to be positive, and I have enjoyed a lot of this season, more than I thought it would have. But when a race is bad, I'm going to say it's bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If Arsenal win 1-0, okay, if they win 1-0 in a shitty Premier League game in Stoke City on a Saturday morning, and it's a terrible game with one shot on target, and that one shot went in, yes, Arsenal won. I'll be happy about that. But the game itself, the soccer game, was trash, and I'm going to say that. So guess what? This race was trash. Even if my favorite driver would have won, it still would have been trash. It was not a good race. I didn't like the style of racing. Didn't like the track. That's just my opinion. If you disagree with it, tell me why you disagree with it instead of just calling me some stupid hater. Trust me, I'm trying to help out the sport. I'm not trying to bring it down to the ground. So hopefully my message got across, because if, 2 weeks from now, which is Sonoma, not going to be a bad race. That's going to be a good race. But next time we ever have a bad race and I start complaining about it being a bad race, well, guess what? It's free world. I can complain if it's a bad race. I'm not going to say it was a good race. All right? It's that simple. Thank God Sonoma's in 2 weeks. I'm going to love that race. I like Sonoma. Road courses. Short tracks. The next short track is until August. Oh, my God. 2 more months without a short track. Please help me. If you guys like the video, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Comment down below if this is your first video that you're ever watching and I come off as a crying little cunt. I am sorry. Usually not like this. Just trying to be as honest as possible. So hopefully you guys enjoy the honesty and the realness. I don't know what the words are for it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And again, give your comments on the race. I want to hear what you guys have to say. If you liked it, tell me why you liked it, because I really want to know why you liked it. So let me know. I'll see you guys later. Hope you're having a great day. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you are not already. Dislike the video if you hate me. I probably expect it. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out.